And you're still. This is open to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. God.
Anybody that wants to come. Yeah.
Interesting. So,
Yeah. To what is it? What's the saying? To whosoever will come and drink.
Yes, indeed. I saw Claude was on this morning, and I didn't get a chance to get on it. He sent me the recording. I listened to like the first 15 minutes of it. He's a pip. Oh my God.
That looked like a good one. I missed it too, but I've got the recording I want to watch.
I got through about 20 minutes of it, and I had to kick off and go do some other stuff. So, but it's good to be home. It's good to be home.
Yeah.
100 degrees average temperature down in Florida. Too damn hot. Every day is 100 degrees. Ugh.
Wow. It's going to be 97 here in Kansas City tomorrow, I think, and then humidity just makes it feel like 111 or something.
Yeah, that's how it is down there. I was in Central Florida. You don't even get a breeze down there unless somebody farts, for crying out loud. At least you go up and down the coast, you get a breeze. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing in Central Florida.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, yeah, it is what it is. This doing these in the summertime is tough. Doing these podcasts, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
You know,
it is tough.
I want to bring some speakers on. Come starting probably in late September, October.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll jack it up.
The last month or so has been tough for everybody because the school's getting started. It's the end of summer. People are wrapping up this or that, or the other thing. I think so. It's been tough to.
When do schools open by you?
Oh man, schools open today, first day.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, in Florida, they've been going to school already. I think 2-3 weeks already. So up here, they don't go back till after Labor Day. So
I see.
It's all good.
See, I'm putting off getting a haircut.
Yeah. Jason Richter, what's happening, man?
Hey, man, good to see you.
You the man.
Man, looks good. You got your ears lowered.
That's it. It didn't take much.
Looks good.
That's the problem. Every time I go, it takes less and less. So, God, my barber's got to be in his 80s. And he laughs and he holds the mirror up after he's done. And he holds it up to the back of his head and he laughs. Look, this guy ain't got a hair on his head. So, it's all good. You don't laugh, you cry. What else can you do, man?
Amen.
That's what it is.
True. So true.
So you got any deals you got to talk about there, Mr. Chambliss?
I don't have anything at the moment. I had something I was going to mention earlier. I was thinking of, but I've kind of forgotten what it was.
Everybody's got to know this week. I think it's this week. Postage is going up another couple of cents a piece.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're nailing you again. I think it's this week. I got something in the email for it. So is this week or I think it's this week.
I know Hervik has a couple deals he said he wanted to run past you. He's popping here in the room. And Vaughn, he's always got something good to talk about. Jason.
I probably have something too. At some point.
There you go.
I'll jump.
Hervik has to come to the confessional. I'm listening on. Hervik has to come to the confessional. Look at this. He's got the dog. He's got the earphones. This guy's making money. This dude is making money. You see that? We see what we got this guy. He came to us. He wasn't even wearing shoes, And now look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's got the fancy headset. He's got the dog. He's got the whole.
Are those Beats?
The big deal.
Are those Beats? Those headsets? Is that headset Beats?
I've had these before I met you guys, but I was a little I didn't want to wear them because somebody said I look like an airplane pilot. So I was a little self-conscious about wearing them, But since now I'm starting to feel like I'm part of the family.
Good, man. They look good.
Yeah. Turn on the seatbelt sign. That's crazy.
All right, so who's gonna break it in tonight? Who's gonna be the first victim? Hervik, you have to go to confession, man. I heard I heard a few minutes of your conversation there with Claude this morning. There was a big check coming there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it. Steve. It's a deal that
Don't spook it.
Yeah. Well, it was follow up.
Yeah.
I've been first time I came into communication with these people was probably November of last year,
Yeah.
and it's following up with them. Finally got them on the contract in March. I remember early on I did a couple guts moves because it's a brother and a sister, and the sister said she had some other offers on the table. She's an appraiser, and so I hit her with the, hey, look, I got this offer, I'm ready to go. Here's proof of funds. I need a yes by Friday, and I kind of like, I always play like the passive. Well, I'm just, it's who I am, passive. I think that I'm like easy to deal with and whatever, but I had to kind of put my foot down with her, got her to sign the contract, and then a little further down the line, they tried to renege on me. I was under contract. I had a buyer lined up and a decent spread on it. I had to hire an attorney to mitigate, and they got an attorney. They figured, hey, they're gonna have to sell to me. So now we're getting closer to the closing table, and I still have my buyer lined up for it.
Cool. They should be paying for your lawyer.
It's the state of Georgia. I did ask my attorney about that. He said that that it's possible if we have to take it, if we had to take it to court and everything, but it looks like we're settling outside of court.
We didn't talk about this deal before, right?
No, we never talked about it. I'd been, kind of just, letting the attorneys take care of business and just, acting like, it's just in the back of my mind and just continuing on doing what I'm doing.
Cool.
Waiting to see what happened with that. Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta let things happen. That's it.
Hey, can I interrupt you real quick and say something about Hervik?
Yeah, man.
Hervik's got a lot of experience, and on some of my Q&As, I'm gonna have Hervik talk a little bit more here over the next week or two, because Hervik and I have been talking about him going live on once a week in Espanol. Okay, just for an Espanol audience that may be out there that we can reach. And so, anyway, just thought that was exciting. So we're planning on doing that on Thursday mornings. It's gonna be
That's
cool.
huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, dude. I'm so stoked.
That's huge.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be, the whole session is gonna be in Espanol. So does anybody here in the room tonight speak Spanish? We've got kind of a small club here tonight, but
Very little.
Okay.
But very little.
okay. So Paquita, is that right?
No habla.
All right. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. But that's something coming up with Hervik. I just thought I'd let everybody know.
Cool.
Wow. Welcome. Good.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I'm excited. I want to try it out. Been wanting to kind of maybe start getting a little more out there as far as like in the coaching realm and just kind of being social media and stuff like that. Maybe this will, give me that boost.
You're gonna feel really good when you get Justin's first check.
I got a shirt. So
You got a shirt too? Look at this.
Look at
that. Just
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. We got to build this so we got hundreds and hundreds of people online here every time we do this.
Eventually,
if we get that up to that, wow, what talent we can share. Let me tell you.
Eventually, I'm going to have to convert this to a satellite that we put out in outer space that broadcasts live TV, like called Sky Justin. It's a.
You keep changing the name of this damn thing. What's next?
Sky Justin. I like that. That's cool.
Sky Justin. Wow. Okay. So who's got a deal to talk about tonight? Don't be shy now.
I'll go.
Go ahead, man.
So I got, so I'm talking to a lady who's looking to, she's in good health, but she's getting up there, and I think she's looking to maybe move into not an assisted care, but an elder community.
Yep.
And so she has a house that's free and clear, but she does have a reverse on it. She does have a reverse mortgage on it, but I don't think she's
free and clear. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't have said that, but yes, I don't think she's tapped too hard into that yet.
Okay.
As far as I know, and so we're friends, and I think she'd be open to an offer anyway, and I just have to kind of see if she's even ready to to sell it, and I was thinking about doing offering a subject to. I'm not sure what direction to take with her, to be honest with you.
How much is the house worth?
Let me tell you something. I can't find it. I think it's been free. I think they bought it a long time ago. I can't find it on the MLS, and
forget that. How much? I don't care about that. You run it on PropStream and get some kind of a number on it.
Okay, I don't mind giving you the address.
No, I don't want the address.
Put it in the Zoom room chat, and I'll take a look
Yeah.
on the side here while you guys are chatting.
Justin will do that.
That sounds good.
Here's
I forgot that this is yeah. Okay.
You do that. I'll hang on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, Ed,
sorry about that.
Ed.
All right,
I'm like, whoa.
Gentlemen,
all right.
Ed, what's going on, Ed?
oh, just living the dream, baby.
That's Ed.
Captain Hervik is going to bring us in for landing later on tonight.
In Espanol.
In Espanol. Yeah, that's correct.
Rick.
Correct.
Rick is back. The West Coast Demon. There he is.
All right,
Okay.
I got the address, guys, and I'll get to work on that a little bit if I can find anything.
See if you can get us some kind of a value on this thing.
Okay.
And if they've got a reverse on it, maybe they started off with a top cap on the reverse. They'll sometimes put that on there, what they can draw up to.
Okay.
We got those two numbers. Here's what you can do with this person. You can just sign a master lease with this person. Let her draw out what she can draw out, and you just lease the property out. That's one thing you can do. Mark it up, and now this way she'll be able to take all her equity out of this house. And when it comes time to get sold, it's a foreclosure, it's whatever it is, deed in lieu, whatever they do with the bank. That's one thing. That's if they're somewhat close to what they owe. That's just outside the box. You can do traditional stuff with this. It's just a mortgage. All right, but you're not going to do a subject to with it. So you're either bringing in private money or your money, paying off the first and going on. All right. If sometimes with folks that are still counting on income, all right, they're counting on this. She might want to turn around. You might bring in an investor and pay off the first. All right. And then if she's got a lot of equity in this thing, give her installments as time goes. She might only need $300 or $400 or $500 or $600 a month plus a Social Security to live in this new place that she's going to.
Right.
And if she gets the whole thing, she's going to wind up giving it probably to the kids or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. You see, there's a lot of, you got to find out what she wants to do, and we got to find out what these numbers are. So how we doing, Justin?
That's pretty rough. So far I haven't found it on PropStream at all. Like I haven't even found the property itself. It's looks like it's 920 Heritage Drive actually, but so give me a few more minutes if you got a couple.
Oh man,
And we can go to something
You're on
else.
the payroll.
We can go to somebody else for a little bit and come back to it if you want. You know?
we'll definitely do that. Okay, Vaughn, what do you got for us tonight, man? What are you doing? Come on, man, swing the bat.
Yeah.
Shot.
No, I don't got nothing right now. Hate to say it.
Nothing.
Yeah,
That's
nothing
okay.
right now. No, yeah, I'm
You
just
can take a day off now and then.
no, dude. I got really sick last week, and I'm not making any excuses, of course. I've just been doing like a bunch of
Gotcha.
behind the scenes stuff, and organizing and
Yep.
whatnot. But dude, my throat was so bad, I couldn't talk, man. Like and just the morale too, and just been dealing with stuff at work. But yeah.
Can you give us an update on that one you're working on, or
Yeah.
maybe not?
Yeah, so I can't I'm taking them through the disposition script and everything, and I'm saying the right things, and just haven't really got anybody to stick. Had one person go out there, and then once he saw it, he said no, he doesn't want it. It's a lease option fixer, right? And it ARVs at like 81, 83, but I'm only asking 62. Which would yield me $5,000 after the deposit, because the homeowner only wants 57. Now, this was the deal where we kind of structured the contract to say like, okay, however I get my funding, X, Y, or Z, cash, hard money, or a creative deal, right? Then that's what we'll go with. And so then when I approached her about the creative deal and we decided on the terms and everything, and she was all good. But just to find somebody for that's been very hard. And now she texted me earlier today, and we only have till like September 5th, September 8th. She texted me today saying she doesn't really want to do a rent to own type of situation. Like she's having cold feet about it, and
I couldn't
so wasn't
remember. That's
really
what I
locked in on just a rent to own or a lease option type of deal. You know what I'm saying? It was
You
kind of
haven't got a particular deal that you're contracted with her on. You left it wide open. Whatever you bring to the table.
Yeah, it's wide open. Yeah.
You know what
So
you can do? Go back to the guy that looked at the house and make me an offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? You're gonna lose. Go back to the guy and say, listen, make me an offer. He offers you 50 grand. Go back to her and say, listen, I got a guy by the hand. He wants to pay $50,000. If you can put the money together over a year, or he's got cash or whatever it is. You don't tell him 50, tell him 45, 46. You in or out. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Always ask. Listen, if you don't want it, it's not for you. Tell me why, and what would you want to pay for it? 2 questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
Right
So
on.
you can always ask, man.
Wheeling, dealing, making the deal, right?
Yeah.
Got to make it work, make it happen. Best deals are made, right? Not found, huh?
Well, the deals you work hard for, they're usually not laid down deals, and those are the ones you make the money on. The laid down deals, anybody can get.
That's what I like. I just like that easy money, Coach Steve.
If you're in some markets, that's easy. I mean, I've never been privileged like that, so I never had that. I'm out there with everybody else swinging the bat. So
I got some data here also on Jason now, just to give you an update. Hey, what is that? Is it 3-bed, 2-bath? What do you think it is there, Jason?
It is, and I know it's 920. I just sent you a message saying it was something else, but
okay, no worries.
Now that I think about it, it is 920, and it's 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's 4 bed. It's 1, 2. Yeah, it's 3 bedroom. I had to think about it.
Okay, well here's a couple comparables in that same zip code. Okay, August 12th, August 10th. So just this month, a couple 3 bedrooms, and you can see what they went for.
Yeah.
This just gives you an idea. I don't know if these look comparable to the property at all, but these are just simple ranch style houses. They both have 1-car garage.
The one there on the right looks very, very similar.
Okay. Well, if it's in good shape, then you're looking at about $375.
And you're also talking about a house that probably going to need a good makeover.
It looks like it's never been touched. I do a lot of work for her, and it looks like it was built and nothing's changed since it was built.
See, the 375 has got a kitchen in it that looks a little something like this.
Okay.
See, so it's all prettied up. Yeah, I mean, these people know how to live, and I don't know. It's not 1950s.
So, all right. You got any mortgage showing up on there, Justin?
No, I could not find it on PropStream at all. That I just had to do some real basic zip code search and kind of find some pockets there.
To do anything with this, you got to find out what kind of balances there are.
Okay.
And we got to, condition and all, put a real value on the property and decide what it is you want to do with it long term.
Okay.
You want to do something long term? You want to just get out of it quick? You say you know this person, you know this person.
I do. I'm close to them. Yeah, good friends.
Good.
So I can sit down and talk with her at any time.
Well, you might wind up just doing a lease option and say the person can't buy the house for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And do a lease option that way, and this way she can suck more equity out of this thing. Right. And do your numbers, make sure you're in the ballpark and let them buy it. And now you're doing her a service. Right. She's not dealing with a sale now. She can be a landlord, or you can help her out being a landlord. Maybe you staying in there as a sandwich deal, but she's not dealing with a sale. She hasn't got the stress of it, and she's able to just keep pulling out on that reverse mortgage as long as she wants. And you say she's not topped out on it, so
I don't think so.
See, that's paying. That's really doing something great for the consumer. All right. If you flip it the other way, bring in money. You're not going to do a subject to on it. Bring in money, take out the first, start all over again. Or one way or the other, you got to take out this first. Even if you bring in private money and then give her stepped out in equity or pay her out or whatever it is, and if she passes, it goes to her estate. So
Okay.
a lot of older people like having the payments. This is going to sound stupid. I talked to two people last week in Florida, and they said to me they'd much rather have payments than get money in one big bunch because their grandkids and their sons or daughters are just going to run right through it. So if they get installment payments, they're able to allocate who gets what and when. So they like that idea. So I'm sure not everybody does, but So, right, Jason, when you get some numbers, come on back and see us with the numbers.
I appreciate that.
No problem, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Justin?
It looks like a bread and butter house, though.
Yeah, man.
Bread and butter. Everybody wants that.
Yep, absolutely. Find out what a motive, which way she'd like to go. If she just wants out of the house, then take her out of the house, Who's up next?
Hey, sorry to butt in. I came in late, but did you say that's a reverse mortgage?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Also check, it's been a while since I messed with them, but there's also like what's it called? Like a maturity event. Are you familiar with that? It's where if a person with a reverse mortgage lives outside the residence for more than 12 months, then they can either call it due or require it to be paid back in full. So if you try to do like a lease longer than that, you may want to check, besides getting that payoff quote from that mortgage, to close that reverse account, you also might want to check to see if there's any rules regarding that as well, because that's going to stop you from leasing that out more than 12 months. Have you heard of that, Steve?
Well, I have, and I've showed people before, basically doing the same thing I just told Jason. The last thing that these lenders want is something that's going to be it's going to be a dead asset on their books. So yes, I agree with you with the 12 months. All right, it's not a secret because these people want their money back. It's an A lot of these are insurance companies, backed by investment companies, backed by insurance companies. They want their money back, but by the same token, they don't want a non-performing asset either. So while this house is still sitting under grandma's name, grandma's still, it's still a performing deal. So could it happen? Sure. It's like a due on sale clause. Could it happen? Yeah. And reverse mortgages can be a little more aggressive because it's not a regular loan. However, I'd still pursue it that way. And if worse comes to worse, your backup plan, if this were to happen like Rick says, and it could, your backup plan is either you're stroking a check to pay off this first mortgage or you're bringing in private money. And all this entire transaction, if they get involved, it's not going to happen overnight. So you'll have time to put everything together. There'll be letters going back and forth. And then worst comes to worst, get on the phone and say, listen, I'm trying to help her out. And she's going back and forth between assisted living and here. She didn't move out. How are they going to prove it?
There you go.
Right.
How are they going to prove it?
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Rick, you the man.
Yeah.
How's things out in California, brother?
Yeah, thank you, Rick.
I don't know about that, but I've dealt with them in the past. I just don't know the current rules and regulations pertaining to reverse mortgages, man. But I know that was something that came up in the past. Past stuff, right?
Yeah, you just the last thing that a judge wants to see is somebody going after grandma's house. And they don't want to be that person either. They don't want to be that person. So,
and Steve, when you said it was kind of like the due on sale clause, the hesitancy with that's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? But she doesn't have to relinquish ownership. She can keep the property in her name. We're not going to do it. You're not taking it over subject to. She has the right to lease it out. She can do whatever she wants with the property subject to, so to speak, the underlying mortgage, which is that reverse mortgage. So, I mean, if it ever really, really came down to it, you've got a long-term person inside there. You got to make sure you cover yourself that if this thing ever gets called, they gotta come with the money in 3 months or something, like whatever you put in there. But I would say that, she goes back and forth. What are you talking about?
And you're probably safe as long as you don't convey title to somebody else.
Yep.
Anyway.
You don't convey title, and grandma passes, then the game's over.
Yeah.
You're dealing with an estate, and everybody's got their hands out.
Right.
If there's any equity left.
Right.
So
that's killer, man. Thank you.
No problem. I'm here in New York, and I'm back here, and the only deals I want to look at right now are going to be properties that are in foreclosure. And I want to grab these properties up, and I just want to rent them out. Forget about doing short sales. I don't want to buy them. I'm just done, because up here the rents are crazy.
So what's your strategy on locating these homeowners, Coach Steve?
It's easy to locate them. I can use PropStream. I can go on I've got access to the MLS, and I can use there's other things. There's other avenues out there which are direct, like a newsletter right from the courthouse as these things get posted. PropStream updates my lists about twice a week, and I get the maximum I get is 75 leads. That's all. Maybe that's all. That might be all that the courthouse updates. That could be. But for my 2 counties that I'm in, they only update like between 65 and 70, 75 a week. I don't need many. All I need is a couple. So I'm looking into that, and that's a nice cash flow. And I don't have to buy anything. I don't have to own anything. So
you're
I like that. I like that idea. That's a whole nother podcast.
Are you going to retire after that, Coach Steve?
Never know, man. Never know. I said to myself, if this pandemic hits, not pandemic, this whole thing goes on starting in a few months, and the whole bottom falls out of the market, I want to buy a house a week next year. Then I'm going to retire. House a week.
I know. It would be a horrible time to quit now.
I'm done. Just buy a house a week, and I'm not going to use my money.
Yeah.
I'm not using my money. So anyways, who else got a deal I want to talk about here tonight? Don't be shy. I'm going to call on you. Hervik, coming to the confessional. What do you got, brother?
I've got a deal. If nobody else wants to put a deal out there right now, I do have one.
Go ahead. What you got?
I got it's a condo down here in Miami. I need to find out if I want to call the HOA and find out if I can come in as an owner and possibly short-term rent it. That's just a question that I want to ask, just to see if that's an option. I have the address here if you want it. The property.
You need to go to the HOA and ask them for a copy of the seller's. What is it? A seller's package?
What's the rights and commandments and
that's all in there. That'll all be in there. But you want to see if they're in Miami. You want to make sure that the HOA is funded correctly. They don't have any outstanding lawsuits. Because once you get into one of those HOAs, it's like you can't get out. So, but you've bought condos before, right, Hervik?
No, I as a realtor, I've helped someone buy one. I helped a family member buy a condo in a HOA that, yes, they were in some type of issue a couple years into my cousin and his wife owning the condo. The HOA fees went up maybe by a couple $100 because the HOA was behind for some reason. It was something similar to what you're talking about. So thanks for that reminder.
There's a woman up in Connecticut, and her and her 2 partners ran the biggest RIA. And I think it's one of the biggest RIAs in the country. She came out, all she does is condos. All she does. And I don't know much about condos. And they don't turn me on. I like to be in control of everything that I do. And I don't like having partners. HOA is like a blind partner. But she said, listen, you should come down. It's a 1-day seminar, blah, 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 blah. Well, I listened, and it was interesting. You can make real money on these condos, and your liabilities are limited. But you got to go to these meetings. You got to listen to who's going on. You got to get this seller's package. You have to request
With covenants
yeah. Now that comes from the HOA, and they've got it. It's got all the disclosures in there, and it costs the person who owns the property a certain amount of dollars to produce this document, produce these documents, and send them. I believe they call it a seller's package. There's another longer name for it, but if you want, I can research it. Maybe I'll send you her information. She sells a seminar on this thing for $600 or $700. It's well worth it because she knows the ins and outs, everything. If you're in condo land, and this might be really, really up your sleeve to do this. I've never seen anybody that wrote a program or anything having to do with condominiums. Everybody I know stays the hell away from them. She's the only person I know that does them. But she was up in New England when she started this. And now she's doing them in Georgia and someplace else. She might be doing Florida.
Okay.
So if you're interested, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to get you her information.
Yeah, my main market is Metro Atlanta because I was living up there for a while.
Yes, she is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, since I'm in Miami, I did a scrape, and I didn't want an agreement on it for maybe 60 days and see what I could, if I could find a buyer. She wants 40,000 down. She will finance the remaining 160,000, 30-year amortized schedule, but with a 15-year balloon.
Yeah.
At a 3.5 interest rate, it came out to like $718 a month. She said she needed at least $1,000 a month, and she didn't really care for the interest. She said we could play with those numbers so that she could have $1,000 a month.
How much is the HOA?
$247 a month, and this thing could rent between $1,500 and $1,800. She said that it needed a little bit of like cleaning up and maybe a little updating, and that I could probably get up towards $1,800 a month on it.
Is her $1,000 going to include? Is she figuring on the taxes, the insurance? Well, the insurance is probably the place. They'll have inside insurance, but whatever.
Yeah, with the HOA.
So the $1,000 is going to include everything.
The $1,000
that she wants.
It'll include the I guess the payment towards the balance, what she's financing. Her seller financing. So
on top of the $1,000 payment, whoever you're going to do this deal with, got to come up with the taxes and the insurance, and they got to be approved by the HOA.
And pay the HOA.
So I go back to her and say, listen, I'll tell you what, because you know what? That's probably going to be an easy deal to do.
You think so?
Only because of the down payment. Go back to her offer $20,000 and give her $5,000 more. Leave the $15,000 balloon, leave the 15-year balloon inside there. All right. If you get it down to 20 and you get somebody comes up the door with 35 or 40 grand or 30 grand, you know how much cash is out there right now? It's sick. So and they say, listen, they can come along and they can pay it off in a year or two. And that's real. That's financing it. That's not lease optioning it.
Yeah.
He's got a great and that's a lot more palatable. So unless she's going to go out and do crazy underwriting and all the rest, which I doubt she's going to do if she gets enough money, I try and cut the down payment back, get her the payment that she wants, leave the term where maybe you get 20 year, maybe she get a 20-year balloon instead of 15. Work the numbers out, right? So that your ace in the hole is going to be, look, all I'm going to do with this deal is I'm going to add $20,000 to the top. And I'm going to offer this with seller financing for 40 grand.
And then I get out of it.
And you get the hell out of it. I wouldn't stay in it. What are you going to stay in it for?
I'm thinking
condos got hair on them, man.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was thinking, all right, 15-year balloon, 6-7 years down the line, I could say, hey, look, I got some money coming in. What's the
with a house?
Yeah. Gotcha.
With a house. You don't know what's going on with condos.
Things could change up.
Yeah, I mean, one maniac president inside there with his board, and all of a sudden they're taking over the world. So, they have the thing with them is these assessments. Holy Hannah! So, I think with condos, if you can get in right and get out, take the money and run. What do you think there, Justin?
I think absolutely take the money and run.
You didn't have to think about that one. There you go.
No. That's what condos were made for. Yeah.
Now, understand that your buyer may have to qualify with the condo for the condo association. You might have to do a little bit underwriting with for them, run them through a background check and see what it is, so that in the worst case scenario, if you're gonna submit this and try to get this person approved, you got some of the bells and whistles and the answers to whatever questions that they might have. Some associations don't give a damn. I mean, as stupid as that sounds, in Florida, I've seen it where they don't care. You come in the door, as long as you pay our fee, we're good. Those are the ones that are going down. So yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
I have two questions. I know that like maybe 3 weeks ago, you did a session where you ran the numbers backwards. I may have to go back and look for that video, but because she said that, oh, the interest rate doesn't really matter, we could play with those numbers, I just need $1,000 a month. So I wanted to, I guess maybe I'll watch that video, because I don't know if we have the time now
I'll tell you what, you listen, better yet, she wants $220,000, and just give her if the number is $1,000 a month, give her $1,000 a month. And if it's going to be for 15 years, she's got 15 years worth of payments at $1,000 a month, and it all went to principal. Has she got an underlying mortgage on this house?
I don't think she does, if I remember correctly.
Okay, it's even better. So,
Okay.
So I mean, when you're running it backwards, if you're going to talk about zero interest, she don't care about interest. That's great. That's great. Tell you what, you're going to get your money even faster now. It's not right. So she wants $1,000, and if the numbers work out, give her $1,000. So every year it pays down at $12,000 in principal. When you're looking at a deal like that, you might want to stay inside of it, because you could double your money.
Because I could now charge my buyer coming in, I could charge them an interest.
Well, you come in the door now. You look at squeezing the interest rate out the doorway, getting as long a term on it as you can, and putting in as less money into the deal as you can. So say, I'll tell you what. How about I give you $20,000? We do 0% interest, and I pay this off, and we can still keep your 15-year balloon. Can we do business today? So now
you $1,000 a month.
Right. Now you take that same deal. Now I'm going to assume that this person that you're going to put in there is going to be okay with the HOA if they have to be approved. So now you take that same deal and you give somebody a penalty box buyer comes in the door with 40 grand, because the credit's not the best in the world. You can still squeeze it through the HOA, and you're going to charge them 5 or 6% interest. It's still a bargain. 6 months from now, you're giving that money away. Where do you see where interest rates are going to be? So you write the deal for 5 or 6 or 7% to a penalty box buyer. That's a person that can't get a mortgage right now. And you might even get a bigger down payment. So you know what? Give me half the money down, and we'll call you. I'll give you a 4% interest rate. There's so many people up north looking for properties right now. You can probably slay it down there.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a lot of people in these condos that don't have mortgages.
And the other thing is this: she has like 4 condos, and she was talking about, when I first spoke to her weeks ago, she was talking about moving to Spain. Our last conversation on Saturday or Sunday, she said that her plan was no longer to move to Spain, but yet she's interested in something like I had proposed, which was the seller financing, where she got some money down.
So tell her you're interested in doing all of them. We can do one at a time. We can do them all as a package. What would you like to do next?
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I was kind of thinking like, okay, I can't, hey, maybe I can't do 40 on just one, but I can give you 20 for this one and your other one.
Are these in your backyard?
I'm in Miami right now, so yeah.
So these are in your backyard. Go look at every one of them. And I mean, look at them. Forget about what's inside this place. You can change that. But walk around these condo, the premises. Talk to people that are there. Look and see what the rentals are, if they're allowed to do rentals, and how long. Are they allowed to have pets? You get all these. You want to make sure you get the seller's package that the HOA and the HOA presents to anyone that wants to buy a property.
Get all the information as much as I can.
Yep. Well, that's going to have the do's and don'ts inside of it.
Yeah, they got a thing. They got a thing. It's like
got
a booklet. It's like all the rules and regulations and everything that you need to know to live here peacefully and successfully. And it's all in a little booklet. It's called different things, covenants and restrictions and
Yep, that's part of it. And you got their bylaws of what they how they rule and how many people and what you got to do to get on a board and all that stuff. So and you might wind up getting into this community. Let's say it all works out well. You get a name out there. You start putting postcards in each one of these places. You can wind up owning a dozen to 2 dozen of these things. If you go by that system. I'm sorry.
Become the HOA president.
Well, when you got that kind of clout and all that, you might want it. And this is what it is. You're gonna go big if you can. It's just and if it's not costing you a lot of money, if you do this right, it won't cost you anything. You could always say to her, "Listen, I'll give you $230 for the property. How about I give you $230 for the property? Forget the down payment, but I'll give you 3 months up front. I'll give you 5 months up front." So that means you just gave her $5,000 and you got no payments enough for the next 5 months. What do you think?
I don't know if she'll go for it because she was.
You never know. You never know. Say, listen, I'm your buyer. I'm the one doing the buying. Forget about it. If you can get into this deal at 0% financing, now you're thinking like, forget real estate. You're thinking like a banker. You want to build your age. You want to build your bank. That's what you want to do, because this will pay you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All the notes that I write now to consumers on all my properties are not 20-year mortgages. They're not 30-year mortgages. They're 40-year mortgages.
Wow. You getting paid for a long
40-year
time.
mortgages. So now the payment's a little bit less, but not a lot. But you do an amortization schedule and you stretch those numbers out. Holy cow. But I'm dealing with penalty box buyers that would rather own than rent. You just got to watch what the rents are in the area. If the rents in that area are $1,800 a month for that condo, and you can get in the door with $1,000, brother, you can make a lot of money on that thing. You don't have to jack up the price. You say, well, what do I want? Do I want principal or do I want interest? If you jack the interest up too high, they're going to finance you out. If you keep the interest relatively palatable, they might never finance you out. And you got all those payments forever.
Copy that.
Now, nothing stops you from doing this deal with her for a 15-year balloon and you writing the same 40-year mortgage on this.
I know you said that maybe tell her, hey, let me give you 5 months payment up front.
Just listen, I can't put $40,000 together. It's not practical. The numbers, if I'm going to pay you retail top dollar for this, I want to do that. I want to make this deal happen, but I can't do that. I can't go. There isn't a bank alive that's going to give me $40,000. So here's what I'll do. How about we do this? How about I give you the $1,000 a month that you're looking for? We put the 15-year balloon in place. We call this at 0% interest. You get your principal faster. and if this is an investment property for her, she's going to wind up getting installments where she doesn't have to pay all the tax up front, which is good, right? And you get to make up your own term on this thing on the back end. You're going to wrap her mortgage with your new mortgage.
Or my mortgage with her, you mean?
No, you're going to take her mortgages in first place. When she moves out, you do your deal, you own it. Now you're going to have your new buyer come in. You're going to create a new mortgage, which is going to include all the first and the spread and the interest on the second. So let's say you buy this for $220. All right. And you're going to sell this. You could even sell it for $220. Sell it for the same amount of money you got it for. Right. And that guy's going to give you $20,000 down. You take this $20,000 and you just replace your wallet money. You put $20,000 down on it, let's say. All right. The difference on an amortization schedule for $100,000 loan at 0% interest versus 5 or 6% interest is an obscene amount of money.
Per month, every month.
That's how you go to banks, and they got the marble and the golden chandeliers and the pens that are chained to the desks, which I don't understand why. But do the numbers. It's an obscene amount of money.
I'm looking at it now. She bought it in 2013 for 130 grand. She bought it cash, so she has no debt on it. At least that's what I'm seeing on PropStream. And then
If this property can cash flow, what is it? Does PropStream give you a rental amount on this one?
Yeah, PropStream rental amount is $1,567.
Okay, so $1,500. Let's just say it's 15. You got to back out. You got to back out the HA. You got to back out taxes. All right, that's your net number. You're not really going to go after that. You can probably get another $100 more than that. Let's say it's the real rental. Maybe get another $100 more than that on a purchase, right? So you're going to take your interest rate and back into that number. If the real net number is $1,200 or $1,300, you're going to say, well, I'm going to charge interest, and my spread is going to be the interest going up to that $1,300. And if there's a really a lot of people that are in that market that are looking there, you might even get more than that.
I'm not gonna. Nah, you lost me. You lost me.
All right, write down. Let me get. Where's my phone? Hold on a second. Let's do it all together. Where's Justin? He's got to do this thing. Maybe I can do this.
I'm here. What do you need?
All right, can you put up the whiteboard?
Yeah.
All right, we got a sale for $220,000. So I'm going to put that up on a whiteboard. 220. Now let's run this where you're going to give a $20,000 down. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to put $20,000 down. So we're going to finance $200,000. Okay, at $1,000 a month with a 15-year balloon. So we're going to look at, Steve, 15 by 12. So $180,000 is going to get paid off in 15 years. So all you're going to owe her is 20 grand.
Not bad.
Okay. Now let's start a new paragraph. We're going to sell this property. Let's say we don't get greedy. We only sell it for $220,000. All right. Put that on there. New sale, $220,000. And let's say this person comes in the door and all they got is $20,000 down plus the closing costs. That's the new purchaser. Now let me see if I can get this damn thing to work. Hang on a second, guys. So we want to say that our mortgage, we're going to borrow $200,000 principal. We're going to make, let's just leave it 360 payments. Let's just do 30 years just to keep everybody simple. All right. Interest rate, let's just pick 5. Payment, too low. Okay, at 5% interest on $200,000, I'm coming up with $1,073.64. So now we've got to get this payment up to around $1,300. I would not sell this condo based on a price. I'd sell the condo based on a down payment and a payment to purchase. So no, it's like going out and buying a car. They don't tell you the car costs $50,000. They tell you the car's $1,000 down and $399 a month, right? So this is gonna be a payment price. Don't think of it like they got to go out and get it appraised and all. That's all bullshit. No. You're the bank, all right? So let's run this thing up. Let's say, hold on a second, guys. Let's say if I can get this to work. This is at 5%. Let's say it's 7. At 7%, it jumps to 1330. So we're right at 1330. We're probably under. It's under the market. I'd probably even go, why don't you finance the guy? Why don't we finance $205,000? And we're at 1363. I'd like to get this number up to around 14. So that's 205. Let's say 210. All right. 1397.14 is our mortgage payment on $210,000 at 7% interest. That's on a 360-month mortgage. Now, if you do it my way, 480 months, this payment only drops to 1304. What would you like more? 10 more years worth of payments? Interesting, huh? You don't have to decide that now. Get the deal under contract, and then take it for and just look at the only deal the only things you really got to worry about. Number one is her accepting your deal at the 200 or the 220 or whatever it is, and I'd work real hard on just giving her money up front as far as payments, rather than give her cash, because you're paying full retail for it. Number one. Number two, you want to make sure the HOA and you are on the same wavelength. So you want to get that package. Those are your two issues. But this could make you could net $300-400 a month on this thing until you pay her off in 15 years. And then you got another 15-20 years, depending on how long you want to do this. That's just free money. That's $1,300 a month. All right.
I'll just throw it out there, Steve. On PropStream, it says that that the value is 196. On Zillow, I think it was actually a little bit lower than that. And maybe it was like 189 or something like that. So yeah, 200. I'm paying her a little bit over market, I think.
You're giving a 220.
So you suggest
on my numbers, we were giving a 220 with $20,000 down.
And you're suggesting I go at her with that, hey, 220?
No, you can use that as that's your high mark. If $200,000 can be your benchmark, what does she want?
She wanted 200. She wanted 200 with 40 down.
There you go. Or I'd say, listen, if you want to do a deal with no money down, I'll give you 205. And I'll tell you what, I'll start and we'll do a deal at 205. And you don't talk about interest. So I'm going to pay you out in your equity $1,000 a month or $900 a month. So you understand, I've got to pay the HOA. I've got to pay the taxes on this thing. I'd probably go at her at 750 and work the number up. I wouldn't come out of the box and say I'm ready to give you $1,000. Tell them you've done your homework on this thing, and there's no place unless you can buy this unit with the payment for under $800. You're not going to make a dime, and she knows that. She doesn't know what you can do with mathematics on the back end, because you can come in the door and beat a bank. Exactly, and she's holding the note. What's wrong with that? Somebody should tell me what's wrong with that.
No, I'm giving her what she wants, except that I'm not giving her the whole 40. But who's going to give her 40 down up front anyways, It's going to be her.
You can make the offer. You can make her 3 different offers. All right. And none of them are for cash, not on a condo. You can dribble it up there. You can say her best number, maybe will be the $200,000 with no money down and a 20-year balloon. And the payments are $800 a month. And you say, okay, then the next bracket down is $180,000. You're going to give her, and that'll have, I don't know, $15,000 down. We're just throwing numbers around. $15,000 down, and that'll have a 14-year balloon. And you don't talk about interest. All right. And you could offer those 3 numbers, but each time those 3 numbers go by, it's going to.
I give her a little bit of
a little bit more cash. If she's got 4 of these condos, she probably don't need the cash. She's probably got, if she's got 4 of them, and she's got no debt on them.
Yeah, and I'm looking at them now. I think it's 3 condos and maybe the house she lives in. She owns 4 properties from what it shows on PropStream. But what she told me was initially I said, okay, I could pay you, the initial proposal was about 800 a month. And then she said, no, I'm going to need more like 1200 because this is what I live off of, the rent from my units. And then I got her to, I asked her, hey, can you come down on that some? Because of the HOA, et cetera, et cetera. And she said 1,000 would be what she was willing to come down to.
Yeah, well, it means there's still room.
Yeah.
I'm getting an echo on this. I got to turn this back. There's still room. I would say there's still room, especially if she wants the cash. She's probably done with being a landlord.
She sounds like she's, she's not a spring chicken. She's
probably done with being a landlord, and maybe you could be a savior and take all 4 properties and do the same thing with all 4.
She was again, like when I first spoke to her, her plans were to move to Spain, were to move back to Spain.
Yeah,
so,
she's dreaming. Say, listen, what would be the best thing? You want to keep taking rental payments for and gamble that the bottom doesn't fall out of these condo market in Miami, or and being a landlord and dealing with COVID and all the rest of this, or you deal with me, you get a payment every month automatically right into your checking account. You're not calling me when I'm making. You don't ever have to talk to me again. This payment gets ACH'd into your checking account before the first of the month, every month. You're not paying taxes anymore. You're not paying insurance anymore. You're not dealing with the deadbeats at the HOA. All your problems become my problem. But you gotta leave some meat on the bone for me. I gotta make some money somewhere. And I'm not greedy.
Steve, who's paying the taxes on this? My buyer coming in?
You're gonna sell it to him.
Yeah, so
he's gonna pay the taxes.
Okay.
That's why we want to bring it up to around 14. And if there's $200 there in $250 and HOA and whatever else, you got that spread. You can probably get $100 or $150 more on the payment, on the mortgage payment than what the rents would be today in that area, because you give them an option to buy it. And then, when somebody comes along, it's you make your own rules. If they tell you, listen, how about I give you half the money down? What kind of deal can I get? I give you a deal. What do you want? Always ask them first, right? And if they say, well, listen, it's $200,000 for this damn thing. How about I give you $100,000 up front? What kind of a deal can I get? So I'm going to give you a great deal. Show me proof of funds and we'll talk. All right. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels. They show you proof of funds and you make your own rules. You own the property by then. You own it. You see? So if you want to do the same deal with them with no interest and shorten the term up so they pay it out, be my guest. Or drop the interest rate down a little bit, maybe shorten up the term. You're going to have to shorten the term up on that. Although, well, you don't have to. Thinking about it, I mean, the longer the term goes out, the more money you make. And then I would pick up the phone and call the seller and say, hey, how about I sprinkle a little bit more cash in your pocket? I came into some cash. And you start saying, now, that's the ideal way to deal with the person that you paid full price on a property for. Because if they're sitting there counting the calories, as they say, every month when that money comes in, they're counting on that. And you come to them with a windfall of cash, but you want a 30% discount on it or more because of what's going on, or because and I said, listen, I can give this money to you or I can go buy another condo with it. You got to let me know by tomorrow. You got to let me know by Wednesday. And all of a sudden, boom, they're going to call you. They're going to call you. That's how now you just bought down a big chunk. You made that spread on that 30, that 70, that 30%, right? Besides the rest of your deal. That's negotiating on the back end after you got the contract done and you're already in the driver's seat because she's holding the note. Interesting, huh?
Very interesting. Yeah.
This is fun. This is fun.
But if she has 4 units, man, make sure you check the CC&Rs on that just to look out for rental restrictions. You know what I'm saying? Especially if all 4 of them are not in the same complex.
What does CCR mean, Rick?
Oh man, I knew you were going to ask me that, dude. That's covenants, conditions, and restrictions.
Okay.
Yep.
It's just a bylaw for like a neighborhood, pretty much. But some of them Some of them are really strict and they actually banned rentals, and others even put a limit on it. So you may run into a development or an association that has 100 units. They may only allow 5 rentals. So if they already have 5 rentals, you'll have to be put on a waiting list to be able to rent it. So you want to make sure you check those before you go digging in and wasting your time on numbers. Because if there's a bunch of restrictions on a certain community, you know, it's just, I mean,
I've seen
you
it
want to
happen.
stay ethical and get
It's
difficult,
happened.
right?
I think our best exit on this is to be the bank and not rent it and just sell a damn thing. Either sell it and get out up front, or be the bank, collect that interest check every month, and keep going. And if they default, they default. You put them out and put somebody else in there. You're the bank. You're in control all the time.
I've seen what he's talking about myself. I've experienced it with homeowners associations or or condo associations, whatever. But yeah, usually they don't have a problem with it if the deed passes hands, right?
Yeah. As long as they want to approve the person that's going in there. A lot of times they want to check assets, you know, criminal background check. That's why I'm saying, before you get all excited, you own this thing. Don't be afraid, but run them through one of these. Run them through one of the, you know, the background check companies that we suggested.
Oh yeah,
and make that happen. You know, so, and they pay for that anyway. You got it, Herbeck? You might wind up with a whole bunch of these condos in that same community because you solved this person's problem.
Yeah, two of the, so again, it looks like she has one single family home here. It says it's a cluster home residential, and the other 3 are condominiums. 2 of those 3 are in the same
You don't see any mortgages on them, right?
Nah, it looks like she bought them around the same time period, and she bought them cash.
Okay, well, make sure they're not on a you know, when you do the background checks, I mean, your title company, make sure they search for UCCs. She didn't buy these on a line of credit or whatever.
It says current loans, and they all have zeros.
I know, but Florida, sometimes they don't pop up.
Okay.
Yeah, just search for UCCs. Have the title company. They're going to do it anyway. So
yeah.
All right, search. Man. Yeah. Anything else?
So I'm going to get this on the contract, and then once I got it in the contract, I'm going to come back and talk to you about what I should do on the selling end.
That's the easy part. That's the easy part. You get it under contract, you're going to wind up having to close this thing before, unless it's not occupied. I don't know. I mean, I have not offered, if I'm going to walk in the door and buy a property and I'm going to flip it and be the bank, I don't do anything with that property until after I close on it. That's just me. I won't show the property. I might ask this person if I can put some signs on it, you know, and I put a big 4x8 sign on the front lawn. That it depends on the neighborhood, of course, but you know, on a single family house, if it's in the right hood, if it's in the right neighborhood. But I get people's attention and I start building up a market, but I won't show anybody the house. I won't give anybody the, you know, nothing. I don't want to spook the deal. I want to own it. Then I'll go ahead. So
I definitely want to come in with as little amount of money down or skin in the game as possible.
Yeah, well, your $200,000 price is going to be zeroed down with 5 payments up front. Well, give her a year's payments up front. There you go. There's your 12 grand.
It's a little bit of a risk, but but it seems like
it's not a risk. Well, if the HOA is dealable, you can deal with them, right? And the rents for that particular location are at least, as according to our numbers, like right around 1,500-1,600. This is a freaking home run.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a home run.
Money.
And if you don't take it, call me. Maybe I'll take it.
Money.
I'll put you on the phone with her.
Don't scare me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Looking at it on Zillow, Zillow says $1,734 a month is their estimate for rent.
Oh, nice.
I like looking at. You got to make sure you put it under condo. Oh, what? That's already under. They know it's a condo. I use what is it? Rentometer.
Rentometer.
Oh, whatever. Rent. I mean, you say Chicago potato, whatever. You look at you do that. I got the pro version, and you drag it down, and it says apartments instead of single family. And I start playing around with. I don't want to see stuff that rented out a year ago. I want to see stuff that rented out in the last 3 months. And even if you got to go out a quarter of a mile, half a mile, and you get some pretty accurate numbers with that. They pull the data off everybody that's got stuff for rent, I suppose. So I don't know. It's pretty accurate. I've been using them for a couple of years. Been real happy with them. Rent.
What's that cost? That's pretty cheap. Was it like 15 a month or something?
I don't know. I bought the annual thing. I think it was $100 for a year.
Yeah, it's not much.
Something like that. It wasn't a big deal. But now you can download from. I haven't done it yet, but I was with the understanding a few months ago. They came out with an edition where you can actually take a list, download it to them, and it'll give you all the averages and stuff on like on an Excel sheet. Pretty cool. So if you work in a big area and you want to follow rents and stuff like that, and you really want to be the banker, you look at rents and you can roll your numbers back and look at the properties that are in a certain price range. Perfect's going to have a brain seizure now.
That's real life monopoly going on right there.
That's what I did in Alabama, man. That's how I bought all those houses in Alabama.
That's fun.
That's what I did. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun walking up to a house. How much is the rent here? Well, the rent's in this area about $800. I knew I could pay $80,000. I could retail house for about 85, 90 grand. So I could pay 40,000 for it. Here's my offer. All cash. House goes subject to inspection. Next. I bought a lot of houses that way. Yeah, man. And every house cash flows between 450 and 650 a month. Nice. Selling the houses for under 100 grand. Oh boy.
What do you expect to make monthly on this foreclosure rental thing?
I'm not going to tell you on the line. I'll tell you off the record.
More than that. More than $500 or $600 a month, right?
Well, our average rent here, I'll put it to you this way. I'm renting a 3-bedroom house right now for myself. So I moved out of my big house. That's gone. And I'm not going to buy anything here until the market kind of calms down. And the rent on this is $2,700, and it's about $500 on the market. Wow. I don't plan on paying taxes or insurance. What for? It's houses in foreclosure. It's going to tank. The thing is, you gotta
so the mortgage company paying the insurance.
Yeah, have a great time. I don't care.
All right.
So you do the math.
Keep blocking it. Keep blocking.
You do the math. Yeah. So I'm shopping for a pit bull right now for an attorney. I put a phone call into a couple of people I know today. I said, that's it, man. I'm ready to go. I need a pit bull. All right. We'll find somebody for you. All right. So I got to go down and interview a couple of people, hopefully before the week is out. So get my program going. Anyways.
Steve, so you're going to take over these properties and you're just going to start to rent them out.
We're not going to talk about that on the record here tonight.
Zombie properties.
We're not going to talk about that. Nothing that can be recorded. So we'll talk about that. You hang on later. We'll turn on and we'll chat. All right. What else?
We'll break out the adult beverages. Hey, is anybody?
We all make a living tiptoeing around the law, bud. That's the way it is. So you're not doing anything illegal. It's not illegal. Nope.
No, it's not.
What else? No, it's not illegal. Person that owns that house can do what they want to do with that house. So,
when you first hear this strategy, you're kind of like,
what?
You're kind of like, wait. And then after you figure out that it is legal, you're like, maybe I should do this.
It's not for the weak in heart. And you gotta have a strong stomach about.
I don't even have a heart, so I think we're okay.
There you go. Who else has got a deal here to talk about tonight? We're getting late. It's 10:09 here in lovely New York. Who's got a deal to talk about? Come on, boys. Who's that?
Aaron.
Aaron, put on your camera, man.
Yep, I got it on. Can you see me?
Well, it looks like you're a ball of fire.
Are you driving?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What, are you driving?
Okay. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay, brother. How can I help you?
Yeah, I got one in Lake Station, Indiana.
Right?
Okay. I offered the guy, that guy's asking 56,000 for it. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. I offered the guy 40,000. He acted like he was going to take my offer, but he was going in to see his attorney and told me as soon as he get done doing that, he was going to call me back, but he never did that. So I wanted to approach him with a different offer in the morning, because I'm thinking that he felt like that $40,000 was too low, and I'm thinking he's probably going to ghost.
Well, first off, you got to get him on the phone. Second off, you don't change your offer until he tells you the offer is no good.
Yeah, that's what
Secondly,
I'm gonna try to do. Get him on the phone. Yeah.
You get him on the phone, but you don't change your offer until he tells you the offer is not acceptable. You offer him $40,000, whatever. That's the offer. Don't come out of the box and just throw more money at him. I got some houses I want to sell if you're going to do that. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do that. This is in Indiana. Are you paying cash? Are you paying cash for this house?
In Indiana.
You're paying cash for this house? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're paying 40. Let's say it goes through. You pay 40 for it. It's how much is it worth?
It's worth. Well, I looked around, fixed up. It's worth about 95,000 fixed up.
And how much work does it need?
Needs about 15,000 in work.
Okay. What do you plan on doing with it if you get it for 40 grand?
I'm planning on wholesaling it for 55.
I think you're out of your mind. I
You
think you
think
go
so?
out. I think you are. You're in Indiana. Land contracts are huge out there. Huge.
Yeah.
You would go out. You bring in a private lender for the $40,000. Turn around and clean it up. Put 15,000 into it. So you bring in a private lender for 55. Do interest only for 5 years, and you sell a property for 105,000 on a land, 110,000 on a land contract, and charge the guy 5 or 8% interest.
Okay, on a land contract.
And you look and see what the rents are there, and you got to keep it. You got to keep your you got to keep your contract price at or just below rentals in the area.
Right. Now, on a land contract, let's say, because I'm in Indiana, it's a 9-month foreclosure process. So, because it's a land contract, how soon can I get them out of there? Do you know that, or?
It's a beautiful thing. Stop worrying. You're in a great state. Land contracts act. I'm not going to give you legal advice. I'm not an attorney. All right.
Okay.
But about 40 years ago, my father had invested with the rest of the family in a big giant development up in Indiana, way up in northern Indiana. And my father and all the family collected payments for years. All right. And it was the same thing. They actually rented the property for the 30 years, and they got title to the property on the 30th year. So, my father was a lousy collector. People would call and they say to him, yeah, I know things are tough on you. I understand that, but I'm sure you're going to turn things around as soon as you can. You do that. You take care. And they hang up the phone. Drove my mother nuts. He never asked questions. My father was a banker, but he says, and you know what? In hindsight, it all came out great. So, but you're in a good state to do land contracts. You know what? I wouldn't hold a note and a mortgage there or whatever. I'd do land contract out there. And that's big out there. People understand that. They understand the logic with it. Plus, you're giving someone an opportunity to be a homeowner. And if they come in the door with all kinds of money, you can get them a better deal. There's a lot of cash out there right now. And there's a lot of people that want to be landlords. So if you took this house and you put the 15,000 in it, and it really is a $95,000 house, what stops you from selling that to a landlord and holding a mortgage? Nothing. Or holding a land contract. Nothing.
That's it.
Or you can wholesale it. You can call me.
All right.
All right, sir.
Sounds
Thanks
good. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for calling, Aaron. Appreciate it, man. Check in now and then. That's all great.
Yep. We'll do. Okay.
Poor Vaughn is going to sleep, man. We lost one. Oh, there he is. Hey, bud. You
I'm
don't
right
feel
here,
good,
Coach.
man. I shouldn't bust these chops. You don't feel good. Okay. I'll listen. I do that in the middle of the day. Jason's cussing. I always sees the top of my bald head. So it's all good, man. It's all good. Anybody else got something before we call it off at night? Or we go off recording anyways? Anybody else? Jason, Joe,
Hey,
Ed,
look at that. Did you
Aaron,
see that?
Rick.
You missed that.
Perfect. What's that?
You missed what Rick had. What Rick had something special. He was.
I didn't hear it. What you got?
Let me zoom it in on Rick here. If
That's my closer's cup.
Oh yeah.
oh wow, dude,
Look at
I got
that.
one too.
You like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yours looks a mite bit bigger than mine, Rick. How did you get a
I
bigger
got
one?
up on my chest now, so I see this.
That's what she said.
This is why the women don't come on the show. You know?
That's great,
It's
man. You
all
know,
good.
it's all about the shut up money. It's all about it. Thank you, Rick.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything else to chat about? So let's do this. Let's end the recording right now. All the recordings, and let's just have a conversation. So Justin,
Okay.
do your thing, guys.
Okay, bye everybody. We're gonna talk about secret stuff.
You can't hear this.
You wish you were as cool as we are, but you're not yet. You could be. All
You
right.
could be.
You could
Gotta
be.
join.
Yeah. It's shutupmoney.com.